since I became pro, I think I was going into dressing rooms in the lower leagues and lads just were not open and just not speaking about their feelings.
Number one thing to that is talking, right?
Yeah.
We don't do it enough. I don't think we do it enough, and I think times we think we're in a good place, I think we don't do it.
People will see you for 90 minutes a week on the pitch trying to perform and do your best, but they don't see the other 6 days or 7 days of the week where you've got your family life, you've got your personal life, you've got everything going on there, so it's like, you know, you're being judged constantly.
Afternoon, lads.
All right, you getting them in, Yatesy?
Sorry?
Getting the
Yeah, I'll get
in?
the coffees
Is
in
it made
there.
one already?
Yeah, it's one I made earlier. Zach?
Thank you, mate.
To you, lad. Enjoy.
How is everyone?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. You?
Yeah, all good.
You?
Family good?
Yeah, all good.
Yatesy thought it'd be quite good for us all to get together, have a coffee, just talk about bits about mental health, and I'm sure we're all glad down here, a lovely little setting. I've been given some of these little cards. It's quite a moving, really, first comment. Yatesy, you in this?
Sorry, mate, go on.
Priory,
Yeah.
who are leading independent provider of mental health care and adult social care in the UK, carried out a survey of 100,000 men in the UK.
Yep.
They discovered that 40% of men have never spoken to anyone about their mental health, despite over 3/4 suffering from common symptoms like anxiety, stress or depression. Which, for me, I'm not surprised by that though. I don't know what you guys think.
It's just scary, really, how many people actually don't speak out, and the numbers of people that have the problems but maybe feel like they don't have someone to speak to or someone there that can really help them. So
you think
scary.
that's one of the main reasons why people don't know how to talk about it?
Maybe as a man, yeah, maybe they're not sure how to come about it. They're not sure how to who to speak to, or how they, and almost like, oh, I'll leave it and I'll get on with it. So,
What about you? What do you think?
I think stereotypically you think of like a man or a bloke, big, strong, sort of, don't hide the feelings and stuff like that. But I think it's becoming more and more obvious now for people to speak out, and platforms such as this will hopefully let people know that it's okay to do that, and there's plenty of networking around now to help people in those positions. So,
do you think that in football there's more help, right, for the players?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
from when we first started, there's got to be so much more now.
Oh, for sure. Especially since you probably first started a few years ago.
Wow.
Oh, see, you've put me off here, lad. Sorry, it's very important. I want to be focused. Yeah, for sure. I think like you say, just with the social media and the platforms and things like that, it's just the awareness has been so much bigger, and I think just people speaking about it, the more people speak about it, it gains traction, and we obviously know how important it is. I've had some people in my family who have suffered, and they won't mind me saying that, speaking and just opening up to your friends and family is so important.
What do you think about social media? Like, obviously it can be used as a great tool. What we're doing this right now, this is a fantastic tool, and the stuff we did, the stuff that me and Zach have done together, like, I think it's a great tool, but also you can see a lot of people suffering from mental health suffered when they go on social media. Like, even when we play a game, like say you give the ball away or something like that, it will take its effect. So I don't know how you feel as a player.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I came off it, because you kind of, in yourself when you have a bad game, you don't need anybody to tell you, especially if you're honest with yourself, okay, right, I've done this well, done this badly, but yeah, to read negative comments, it can spiral into a big thing, and you've seen a lot of players suffer from that sort of side of the game, but not everybody's as strong to block it all out. You are going to have to be strong enough to block it out, but coming off it, I think will alleviate a lot of those problems for sure.
What we did to the Tricky, well, I go to the Tricky Hub, so basically I'm ambassador for the mental health of the football club, and we went to we got the Tricky Hub at Forest, bottled up blokes. Zach went down, he did incredibly well that day.
Really good organisation.
It was quite incredible seeing them. We sat at a table and it was this bloke talking, like, on the facade of the man, you'd think everything's normal. I thought he was one of the workers there. And then when he told his story, it was just like the whole room just completely just dropped off, and it was just like...
That was even like an hour in, so I couldn't even tell before that.
Well, some blokes didn't speak, did they? But it just being there was a big thing for them, and I think having these clubs, having these talks that we do and stuff like this, because there's times we talk about having breakfast in the morning, talking about the game or talking about, in fact, we spot a player, you're thinking, oh, he seems like he's not right at the minute.
Yeah.
It's like that little thing of us experienced players, like you're young, but coming in and putting your arm around someone. I don't know how you feel like with the senior players. Do you think, because I think you've got a senior head, to be honest, in terms of your age.
It's quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important that you build up the relationships with, because if I came into the dressing room as quiet as anything, I don't think you'd sort of want to have the conversations and stuff, but as soon as you get yourself a bit more outgoing and all that, everyone sort of knows what you're about, and how you're treated in the dressing room is very positive, I think, especially in ours. I think it's a great bond between everyone. So, but and also if I ever had a problem, I think that now I can come to you, people in the dressing room, and speak to them, because like you said, I'm young, so you've experienced a lot of things in football compared to me, and helped me.
Any time and a place. No, it's about creating a safe environment. I think that's what these groups are doing in the social media, is they're creating a safe environment. To an extent, social media is keeping a safe environment, because now not everything's monitored on what people can say, and I think there's been a lot of backlash with social media.
It has its negatives, but also it has its positives, that it lets people know that there are ways in which you can alleviate your problems. So I think it's really good, really good. And
the number one thing to that is talking, right?
Yeah.
We don't do it enough. I don't think we do it enough, and I think times we think we're in a good place, I think we don't do it.
Yeah.
What about you, Yates? What do you think? Just similar, like in terms of just being able to talk, impact of social media. I know you're not massive on social media, are you?
I think
sit on it a lot, would you?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think when I was younger, when I was say Zach's age, I hung on every word anyone said about me, about how we're playing. But like Prowsey said, I think it can be such a good thing, but it depends what type of person you are, you know. I think it can be really beneficial. You know, you can use it as motivation, or you might really like how much attention you get on it and stuff, but you know, when it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's not nice. And I think I've sort of been through, well, probably all of us have been through both sides of it. So I think, it depends on what type of person you are, but for me, I think just taking it with a pinch of salt is the most important thing.
Did you ever have a psychologist when you were younger coming through? Because when we started, there wasn't any psychologist really in football. Now, I'll openly say I had a psychologist when I was younger, going through everything I was going through, and in the early starts of my career, and that's set me up to this point now. I've been able to hopefully educate people as well. But I don't know about you guys as psychologists. Have you ever had?
No, they've kind of dipped in and out for me. Sort of sometimes you have a manager that might bring one in, and you know it's maybe perceived a little bit not quite sure. But I do think they can help with certain problems and issues for sure. But again, it's about conversation. You don't know unless you talk about it. And you know, if you do have a problem, what's the saying? If it's a problem shared, it's a problem halved. You know, I think that will take a lot of stress away.
Nice too.
But you've got a presenting role in your top.
Is that why you came off social media? Is that why you came off social media? Because of all that?
Yeah, but you see, like I've been on loan everywhere coming through. Yates, you've had a few loans. You were at Southampton, such a constant for so long. How did you find like leaving Southampton? Did that affect? I know you're old. Yeah, here we go. No, but it's true. It's true though. Like obviously you went to West Ham and you had an unbelievable season the year you were at West Ham. Like, how did you find it? Like in terms of the moving side? Because we got used to moving. Like we were moving everywhere all the time.
Yeah, so that was the first time I'd obviously had to factor in a move. And obviously now you're not thinking just about yourself and the football side of things. You're thinking about your family stuff. So people will see you for 90 minutes a week on the pitch trying to perform and do your best, but they don't see the other 6 days or 7 days of the week where you've got your family life, you've got your personal life, you've got everything going on there. So it's like, you know, you're being judged constantly. It was tough. You know, you're not only having to think about the footballing side of things, but you've got all your family to think about as well. So it's a big pressure, a big stress. But you know, you've got to surround yourself with the right people. I'm lucky I've got a good family network around me that have helped and sort of guided me through. And I think through those honest and open conversations with brothers and sisters, mum and dad, you know, everyone sort of chips in and helps out. So again, it's about those discussions and those chats that definitely take the stress away.
I found that you've got family as well, but we're quite lucky we've got family we could speak to, but there's probably people that don't have the opportunity to speak to So it's almost like, where do they go? And I think like the clubs we've been to and stuff like that, we can put on as much as possible doing stuff like this, raising awareness. I think it's massive.
Massive, yeah.
Right, do you want to play a game, Yatesy?
Let's do it.
Do you want to go first? The Premier League have kindly created a game for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to take it in turns, turn the flashcards over. One of them read the question and then answer it.
Okay.
Skipper,
let's do it.
Away.
Do you think a perception remains among men that talking about feelings is a sign of weakness? Am I answering this question, yes?
You can, yeah, go on. We'll pick up and answer the question ourselves. Go on.
Yeah. I definitely do think there is a perception of that. However, I think it's improving dramatically due to things like this. Just like we were speaking about earlier, I think just since I became pro many years ago, I think I was going into dressing rooms in the lower leagues and lads just were not open and just not speaking about their feelings. You know, they might not be in the team or might be family problems. You just didn't hear about things. But now I feel like maybe it's just our dressing room. Obviously, I've been at Forest for a long time, but I think definitely the past few years, lads are just really starting to open up and take help from the lads, which I don't think has happened in recent years. So I definitely think it can improve, but is improving year on year.
Zachary?
Go on, mate.
Pick a card at your card.
How comfortable are you in talking about your feelings among your teammates? It's a good one for me, I think, that, because like coming into a new dressing room, I'd say that it's been really easy to do that, and I come to quite a lot of you about how you go about situations, how you'd feel in certain situations as well. So I think that's really easy for me, but I know how hard it can be for some people. When I was younger, going through the youth ages of playing years up, and almost like when I was young, I didn't really have a voice in the changing room because I felt that younger one. But as you grow, as you develop, as you also get more confidence in your game and stuff, I think that it's much easier to speak. So right now, I'm really comfortable in speaking to people about feelings in the dressing room, and not even in football, like coming to people about family, personal matters, anything. But there are definitely people that might not be as comfortable as me, and it's sort of bringing out that side of them as well.
How scared were you when you used to train with the first team when you were young?
Crazy.
Like, honestly,
it's funny
like
now.
The most intimidating thing. And now, honestly, like, the lads come over. Do you also feel like you kind of have to put your arm around them a little bit when they come over? Like, to a degree, obviously they can't. They need to be at it in a session. But it's true, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at Zach now and I remember exactly how I felt, not just training with the first team, but being in the actual dressing room and behaving in the right way, sort of not being too above your station, but obviously trying to impose yourself. It's a big mental challenge for sure.
Oh God. How do you maintain a healthy relationship with social media? I think you need to dip in and out of social media. I think you need to, like you said, if you look at the bad all the time, but almost you can't block off the bad because you can't take the good. But I think definitely use it as a tool to promote stuff that you believe in. But I think it's an opportunity to plug, when we talk about Tricky Hub, bottled up blokes, and opportunities for people to use it as a tool to help. It's the thing I've realised, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't use social media as such now to do certain things. When I was 18, I probably used social media for other things, for sure. I don't know what you probably thought the same, right?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think you've got to like take things with a pinch of salt, especially as being a footballer, you're open to criticism all the time, and fans are going to say how you've played and stuff like that. But I think you just got to be honest with yourself, as I think we all are. When you've played well and when you haven't.
Yeah, your turn.
Cool. Okay, how do you unwind when not playing football? I think that's a good one. I think that's something that I've learned over the years to do a little bit better. I think when I was younger, I pinned a lot of hopes on the pressure of me playing well at the weekend, having to score, the team doing well. And I think spending time with the family has definitely taken those problems away. Having children myself has taken those problems away and not become as relevant. But I think the biggest thing is just spending time with family. I think we're all sort of family people here, and we're under such pressure all the time to perform, and when things go well, it's great, but when things don't, obviously everything seems to sort of come on top of you. And I think spending time with the family just takes those problems away for me. It's just about having time with good people and just stepping as far away from the pressures of playing football. So I think that's the biggest thing that I can recommend to people, is just spending time with people that you love.
Have
Kids basically, yeah, just calm you right down.
No, it's true. Being with the kids, they have no idea. So when you go to see your 4, 5, 6-year-old, or whatever your kids are, you can lose the game 4-0. You're absolutely devastated.
You still feel like you've won, you know.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, but you come home and they just don't care. Like
No.
they need their food.
Yeah.
They want to go to bed. They want to watch a film. You're just like, and then you don't even think about the game again, do you?
No.
So obviously you come back in Monday and you go debrief of the game. But I always think the kids, for me, without the kids, I'm lucky. Lucky and unlucky at the same time. I've had kids early, so I've had them from the age of 20. I've had kids, so for me they've been unbelievable throughout my whole career, keeping me very. I don't know how you feel, keeping me very level.
Yeah.
What your eldest is? You must have had kids quite young as well.
Yeah, so he's 6.5 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter, like, for me, whether I win or lose a game in a way, which kind of helps me play a bit better, because I'm kind of like, well, it doesn't matter what happens today, at least I know I'm going home, he's happy, he's healthy, and you know, I've won at the end of the day. So I think spending time with family for me is the best way to decompress, not worry about anything, and just enjoy time. Enjoy time.
Go on, Skip.
We're going again.
Do you want to have another round?
Oh, we're man.
Go on.
What was your lowest point in your life, and how did you move on from it?
Jesus.
What was my lowest point in my life? Football. I've got to go footballing wise. I tell you what, during COVID, we were odds on to get. I know it sounds like such a.
We played you, didn't we?
Oh yeah, you beat us, and it was
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh no, that was the season after. That was when we had.
There was no fans. That was like when we had like 8 games at the end of the season.
Oh, that was the season after. It was a bad one. But anyway, we basically missed out on the playoffs by a 7-goal swing. We had like 3 games to get a point, didn't, and it was during COVID. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't really see family and friends. But I thought, well, we're going to get promoted to the Prem, so it'd be fine. And then we missed out on the playoffs. And I just remember for a good week or 2 it was tough. So how did I move on from it? I think just trying to stay as positive as possible. Obviously, social media during that period was really bad. A lot of criticism, negativity around the football club, around myself. And I think that was sort of the time when I thought, right, I need to just step away from it. And then obviously things during that period, we could see friends and family again, and just speaking. My brother lived close, so he ended up being part of my bubble, and I think just staying away from my phone and just trying to be as positive as possible.
So when you got to Wembley and you won it,
Yeah.
you got promoted to the Premier League, did that feel even sweeter? And did you think of that moment of the 7-goal swing?
It was a very sweet moment.
Like it felt even, obviously it's an amazing achievement getting promoted, but that probably felt even sweeter.
Yeah, I think it did. Just that moment, and just many of other really difficult periods during my Forest career in the Championship. It did feel very sweet.
Richly deserving.
Me again, mate. Zach, what were your feelings when you walked into the first team dressing room for the first time? It's actually addressed to me as well.
Yeah,
wow.
Meant to be.
I think first time in the dressing room, I think I was like, wow, like I've got to this point that you think how far away you were. I had my first training session probably when I was 16, and I can remember, like you said earlier, about how you'd be so scared to go up the foot. Like it was like, wow, and it was a level above, and the intensity was really high, and I was thinking, Jesus, these are really, really top players, and that's where I want to be. So when I first got the thing about going into the dressing room, I think it was a big achievement for me, but then it's also a realisation that you're then starting again, almost, that you're going into a new environment, you're starting again, you're starting your sort of playing part, and you're only start the journey towards where you want to be. So yeah, it was very, very good, but almost quite turned me more focused, I'd say, probably.
you're going to have that, you know, when you go out on loan, you're going to fill in new dressing rooms all the time. That's going to be pretty, it's going to be a normal. And to be honest with you, since I've been at Forest, because of the cycle of the transfer market and everything like that, the team's only about 4, 5, 6 of us, 5 of us left probably. Yeah.
So did it all feel
the first year?
Did it feel like a new dressing room every single time?
No, not necessarily.
Really.
The core stays together. The club do really well keeping the core together, but it's just it just feels like well, you've been here a long time, and probably a team that was there 8 years ago. It's only you left. Yeah. So it speaks volumes of how it's constantly changing football and adapting to your environment you're in, for sure. Here you go.
Right. Ryan, James, what pressures have you felt in your role as captain, and how have you managed the responsibility?
Please.
Start us off. I think captaincy comes with that responsibility of like sort of looking after the group. I think you don't have the role of just the captain on the pitch, you have it off the pitch as well. So you've got a lot more on your plate. You're not just thinking about how you played at the weekend, you're thinking about how the team is, how the dynamic is, making sure that Christmas dues are sorted out in a good way, making sure the fine system's in place and all these little bits and bobs. So I would definitely say there's more pressure, probably more from fans as well to sort of lead the team in the right way. But I crave that responsibility. I like having that pressure. I think that brings out another side of me. But the way that I deal with it, I think just through my love of the game. Like, I've always enjoyed football. I've always enjoyed being in that kind of captaincy role. So I'm so lucky to be doing what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying being in that role. Because I know there's millions of people that would love to be doing it. So I'm thinking, why am I getting worked up and stressed about this sort of situation? So I think just through the love of the game, I think it just takes that pressure off.
I couldn't have said it better myself, to be fair. I think, touching on your point of like the dressing room dynamic, obviously there's loads of bits and pieces, Christmas do, fines, etc. I've been lucky enough to obviously be at Forest for a long time and see people like yourself, Michael Dawson, loads and loads of great captains who've been captains at other clubs. I just think I've just tried to take little bits off each of you, the way you do things. Obviously, all do things a little bit differently, and just try and get that to fit around the culture at Forest. Luckily, we've got such a good dressing room. Everyone's really hungry to achieve not only their personal goals, but to achieve great things for the club. And I think just trying to develop myself as a good leader, and luckily I've got some great people like yourself as well, Toss, who are probably more experienced than me, and just try and be like a sponge from you guys every single day.
I'd say as well, you're probably always looking at the group and making sure everyone's like happy in a way. Do you know what I mean? You're always sort of analysing if people are struggling, if lads are coming from overseas, are they missing their family and not settling in well? So I think you're constantly always not just thinking about the football side of things, but making sure that the group is healthy and the group is sort of in a good place. So I think that's another responsibility you have.
So I hope you've been able to listen to our conversation and take something from it. I think the key take from it all is being able to talk with each other. I think that's a massive thing. Not all of us have that opportunity where we do have close friends, family, in different circumstances. And there are groups out there. I'm ambassador of 2 here in Nottingham already. They're there, they want to help you. I want to help you. The football club does. We're all here doing this for you. So if you ever need anything from us, the football club, we're here. And the support is there. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for myself.
Thank you.
Yates, Zach.
Thank you for the coffee, mate.
Superb.